My name is Dallas Kramer. I am the fastest editor alive by some standards. To the outside world, I may be a nerd that just watches too much TV and reads too many comic books. But not so secretly, I shoot videos, edit them, and then upload them on YouTube, hoping I get more subscribers and viewers. This is no ordinary show. This is Let's Review. What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Let's Review. Today I am talking about one of my favorite topics of all time. It's Arrow and The Flash. Arrowverse in general is one of my favorite topics of all time. But we are talking about Season 7 of Arrow and Season 5 of The Flash. We are talking about the finales and kind of how the season went. And I'm just going to kind of give you my opinion. So let's rock this roller coaster, as they say. Because everybody says that, right? Right? So spoiler alerts, if you haven't seen the finales for Arrow and The Flash yet, if you haven't seen those, pause this video, put in your watch later, go watch them real quick, come back here, and let me know how you think about this. Now, this season hasn't been the best seasons in the world for Arrow and The Flash, but they have been very, very good in my opinion. I was not a huge fan of the previous season for both of the shows. I felt that Season 6 of Arrow kind of lacked some luster, and I also felt that Season 4 of The Flash kind of did too. They were both good seasons, don't get me wrong. It's just, it didn't have the same feel to it that the previous seasons did. Like I said before, I'm the type of person that seems like every time I have a favorite season or a favorite show or something, it's the ones that the other fans hate on so much. For instance, I think that Season 4 of Arrow was my favorite season. Completely unpopular opinion. I think that Season 3 of The Flash was possibly the best season. Again, completely unpopular opinion. But I still think I'm right on those, but hey, who's the judge, right? It's everybody's personal opinion. But this season, it kind of was a roller coaster. I mean, you had your action, you had your drama, and you had it going up and down of, like, you know, kind of, I guess you could say, your interests in what's going on. I mean, I was interested the whole time, but it was just like, some episodes I was like, yeah, I'm just watching my show, you know, no big deal, and oh, okay, that happened, you know. Then you had the episodes where it's like, what? That happened? And so, the finales were definitely one of those moments for both shows where I'm like, what? That happened? So, okay, so we're not jumping around so much. Let's talk about one show at a time. Let's talk about Arrow. Arrow is my favorite show that is currently going on right now, and sadly, it's not going to be going on for much longer because this is the season before the last. When Arrow comes back in fall, it will only consist of 10 episodes, and it will be the 8th and final season. I am very sad to see that happen, but, and I said, you know, I'm willing to let it happen. I mean, I don't have a choice. I'm willing to let it happen if they end the story well. And I have confidence that they're going to do that. But the finale of Season 7 really freaked me out. And I'm not too big of a man to say I cried. Because what an emotional roller coaster that season finale was. Oh my God. I don't think I felt that way about a season of finale of Arrow since probably, I mean, Season 5 was definitely a train wreck finale. Season 6 wasn't too much of a big deal. I mean, it was a big deal, obviously. It was a huge deal, Oliver going to prison, but it was just one of those things where you're like, I know this is going to be fixed. Season 1, I think, was one of the first season finales that was just like, ended like, what? Like, it was just like, Tommy gets killed, you know, and then all around him is just going to hell in the glades. That's what it kind of reminded me of, but worse. This season finale was unbelievable. Just, you know, just when he made amends with his sister and they decided to finally fight together and fight the Ninth Circle, she gets killed by the Ninth Circle. To top that all off, something that I have been fearing since Crisis on Earth X, that was in December of last year, Oliver had to make a deal with the Monitor to save the Flash and Supergirl's life. We all kind of knew that what he made a deal was most likely trading his life for theirs. He didn't say it, but we all could kind of get that from it. So we knew Oliver had made a deal, and we had a feeling what it was, but we didn't know for sure exactly the details. And when it finally showed that Oliver and Felicity had gotten away from Star City and started creating this family, their first kid together, Felicity's first birth child, and Oliver's first kid with Felicity, Mia, whom we've been seeing in the flash forwards, was born. And at this point, she's guessing only been born for months. She's only been alive for months. And the monitor comes in. Soon as Oliver sees the monitor, he knew someone was in the house. He goes to, see who it is, grabs a knife, then he sees the monitor. And he says, now? We know now that he's going to, of course, be involved on the Crisis on Multiple Earths, I believe it's called, or Crisis on Multiple Universes, something like that. We know he's going to be, of course, a part of the crossover event, but it appears that Oliver will also die on that crossover, because we know in the flash forwards Oliver is dead. The monitor tells him he sees him dying in the Crisis, and the next time we should see Oliver, guessing in a way, is during the Crisis. So that part kind of escapes me. Here's my guess. It's probably going to happen with season 8. I think we're going to see possibly the last episode of Arrow be the Crisis event, the crossover, or at least the episode before the last. I'm thinking we're going to see what led up to that, kind of not be so much action with Oliver and Felicity, but showing them maybe growing together and whatnot, kind of building a little bit more story there, and have what's going on in Star City kind of be a little miniature thing. And this season just kind of fill in some ties. I have no real idea. This is just a spur of the moment thing I just thought of. I have no idea how they're going to work it out, but I do know that the Crisis event is unfortunately where Oliver is going to die. And when I found that out, I was not in the best situation. I was obviously, if you saw my last episode, you know that Oliver Queen, the Green Arrow, is my favorite Arrowverse superhero. I know the show was going off the air, but I didn't want to see it go off this way to where Oliver is going to get killed. We know he's going to get killed from the flash forwards, and now we know when. We know it's going to be during the crossover, and it's such a unbelievable thing to grasp. I mean, it's like, I still thinking about it, it's just like, holy shit. It's like, I can't believe that my favorite character is going to die. And it's just like, I don't know. Yeah, it's like, what would be worse? Would it be like worse to not know it, and then when it happens be like shocked? Or is it worse knowing it but not knowing exactly when? We know it would be during the Crisis, but when during the Crisis? Last episode? First episode? When? It's kind of, which way would be worse? I know it's horrible right now, so I can't tell you. But yeah, it was just an emotional roller coaster. Alright, let's talk about the Flash finale. And then after we get done with the Flash finale, I know I'm kind of jumping around a little bit here, but after we get done with the Flash finale, I want to kind of talk to you about some of my favorite moments from both shows. Alright, now the Flash finale was an emotional roller coaster too. Wasn't as bad as Arrow, because we're not seeing Oliver Queen, knowing Oliver Queen's going to die, but there was a major death in season 5. Nora West Allen, who came to 2019 to be with her father and her mother and to stop Cicada. Turns out Eobard Thawne, go figure, had his own dirty reasons for wanting to help Nora. Them destroying the dagger also freed him from being enslaved in the prison and getting executed. Them stopping the dagger helped save the day from Cicada 2, but it just made things worse for the Reverse Flash. We saw, thanks to that new timeline being created, Nora Allen was being ceased to exist from the timeline, and the current timeline that they were on, she was about to be, taken away, just like we saw from season 1 with the Reverse Flash and season 3 with Savitar, the same effect of her being dissipated from time. So the only way that she could save herself is to become one with the negative force. But she did not want to do that when she realized that it was only going to turn her into Vaughn. It was only going to make her angry and full of rage all the time, and that's not how she wants her legacy to be. And it was such an amazing, touching story. And to see Barry and Iris holding their daughter, all three hugging each other as she disappears from their arms, was emotional. It's like now that next time we see her, guessing is not going to be until they have her as a baby, as a child. And the memories that they had with that Nora won't be in this Nora, but also the memories that Nora had of her parents. Those parents don't know the memories that they had, and that in the future, with the future Nora knew about past parents. It's confusing to explain, but it's just like, it changes everything. We still can see Nora again, but not as an adult. We won't see Nora as Jessica Parker Kennedy, but we will be seeing it being a baby, unless we see some sort of, timeline, time whammy thing to where she comes back from another timeline. It's the Flash. There's multiple Earths. There's so many possibilities for Jessica Parker Kennedy to come back to the show. But I don't think we'll be seeing her as Nora Allen from Earth 1 unless they want to show something in the future. But yeah, it changes so much, but it was so emotional, and the message that she had for her parents really had me going and just tearing up. But it was an unbelievable season finale, and even though it wasn't the most action-packed season finale, it definitely had good depth to the story and definitely had great emotions to it, and that's important too. So you can't have every season finale, in my opinion. Season 1, 2, and 3 finales were amazing. I don't care what you say about season 3, it's amazing in my book, and the depth that they brought to those tables. But it was still very, 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 very touching, very good finale. Alright, now let's talk about the shows in general, the seasons in general. Let's talk about Arrow first. Overall, I'm going to give this season season 7 a 7 out of 10. Wasn't my favorite season, but it was definitely a damn good season. I think it definitely had its ups and downs. One of the things that bothered me so much, I think, in Arrow was the whole Oliver not being the Green Arrow anymore. Then he's the Green Arrow, and then he's not the Green Arrow. It's just, I don't know, it's kind of exhausting because we wanted to see him as the Green Arrow, and when he's not the Green Arrow, it's like, it just doesn't make sense to me. It makes sense, but it's not like what I want to see. But they didn't do too much of that this season, which I really liked. They did too much of it on season 6 and dabbed into it a little bit on 5. But this season was mainly him not being so much of the Green Arrow, but being in prison at the beginning. Now that was something different that I really liked to see. I really enjoyed the early episodes as Oliver in prison, especially the episode where he defeats the dragon. That was an awesome episode. Just that episode alone made the season amazing. But there are so many really good episodes in this season of Arrow, and I really enjoyed it. I'm nervous about the final season coming up. Gotham was able to top it and make it great, so I have faith in Arrow to do it. It's just with knowing that he's going to die, it's like, when is he going to die? I guess we're not going to know until we know when the crossover is going to take effect. It's usually December, and we don't know when Arrow Season 8 is going to premiere. At least I haven't looked at it yet. I have, but not recently, so maybe they released the dates. I gotta check that out. But it's like, if Arrow's gonna premiere kind of more around December or whatever when we're gonna have the crossover, and Oliver dies at the beginning, it's gonna be weird. If he dies at the end, where's the sense in that for what they did with the big jump in season 7 to where we know he's gonna die? It's very confusing of how they're gonna make this work. But I have faith in Greg Bertinelli and Beth. I don't remember your last name, I'm sorry. I'm sure I'll put it down here because, you know, I usually do that when I can't remember people's names. And everybody involved in the show, Stephen Amell, Emily Bett Rickards, everybody involved. Y'all did amazing throughout the show. David Ramsey, I can't remember everybody's names at the moment. I mean, I know their names. It's just, there's so much. I'm still thinking about it. I'm still thinking about the show, and I'm still thinking about the finale. It's just so much going on. Yeah, I'm really excited to see how this ends. It's definitely going to be bittersweet, but I'm really hoping they end it to where it's the best season ever. The final season. 8 seasons. They did very well for themselves. I'm proud of you, Arrow. I'm proud of you. And you will always be a show. You know, how shows go off the air, it's like no longer a show. You'll always be a show. And your legacy will live on forever. At least as long as I'm alive, because I'll definitely watch it over and over and over again. Alright, now let's talk about this season of The Flash. Well, this season of The Flash was just like Arrow, to where it's definitely up and downs. Did better than season 4 in my opinion. I wasn't a huge fan of season 4. I didn't like how the big bad was this guy in a chair that was, you know, outsmarting everybody. It made sense, but it was just like, I don't know, once you see the villains like Reverse Flash, Zoom, Savitar, and then you get the Thinker, it was just like, okay, you just got a genius. Yeah, it makes sense. He could definitely do a lot of harm. It just wasn't that thrilling for me, I guess. It was still really entertaining to watch, and I liked a lot of episodes in season 4, but this season definitely did better in my opinion. Cicada made a great villain. Something that I hope the Flash goes back to, I'm really hoping they do this season coming up, season 6, is I miss, you know, I know they've done so many different type of metahumans, which is probably the problem why they're not doing it as much, but I miss the older days to where it was like, every episode we had a different metahuman to worry about, or at least every other episode, and we had the main story arc being kind of like gradually building up, not being drugged out through the whole season, but gradually building up to the main story arc, to where it's like you're not spending so much time with the big bad, but you're also spending time with littler bads trying to defeat them. And they kind of did that a little bit on this season. I mean, we got to see like King Shark versus Gorilla Grodd, which was amazing, by the way. But I just want to see more of that in season 6. I hope we get to see more of that in season 6, and also hope we have a really cool villain in season 6. Cicada beat the Thinker, but I know they didn't want to do another speedster because they felt like they're doing too many speedsters, but it's the Flash. It's about speedsters. The comics are about speedsters. I know there's more than just speedsters in the comics, but there's so many damn good speedsters. I would like to see more of them on the show. I'm not afraid to see more speedsters. Are you? If you are, leave a comment down below. If you're not, leave a comment down below. If you like blue cheese or don't like blue cheese, leave a comment down below. I don't know why not. You know, just comment down below something. As long as it's not rude, because I don't like that. But yeah, all in all, season 7 of Arrow was great. Season 5 of The Flash was great. Emotional finales. I cannot wait to see how the final season of Arrow comes and goes, and how season 6 comes and goes. And I really hope to see a lot more of The Flash in the future, and maybe one day be able to see. You know, I know Arrow's going off the air. This is what I'm hoping for. I'm probably not going to be able to see it. But even though Arrow's going off the air, CW, DC, Warner Brothers, everyone please listen to this. Can we at least see maybe Arrow characters? I know Stephen Amell won't be there as Green Arrow, but some of the characters that are from the show cross over in other shows, and maybe every major crossover they be involved somehow. I just think that'd be great to be able to see them live on a little bit in the show. I know you can't keep the show going on, but just see the characters go on, and maybe move some of the characters to different shows too. Kind of like they did, you know, at Avengers with Thor. You know, we're going to be able to see Thor in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which I am very excited about. But that's not what this video is about, so let's stop talking about Marvel and the DC show, even though I think they're a perfect blend together, and it should be a big rivalry. But anyways, I guess that's all the time we have for today. thank y'all so much for watching this video. Now, I know when you're watching this, you're probably thinking, dude, this is 2 weeks old. I'm filming this the week that Arrow and the Flash finales came out, and I'm going to film Legends of Tomorrow and Supergirl finale the following week, which would be the week you're watching this. So it's going to be a week behind, but it also gives y'all a chance to watch the finales. Anyways, thank you again. Make sure y'all subscribe, like this video, and hit that notification bell. Comment down below, and I'll talk to y'all later. And remember, that is an outro. That is a Green Arrow hat. It even says Green Arrow on the back. Lovely hat, isn't it? I think so. I think it's great. It's amazing. It's so super duper. I even got a phone case from my iPhone that has the Arrow and the Flash on it. I'm a super fan. Even though the phone case wouldn't protect it for almost anything, it just looks cool. That being said, I'll see y'all later. This video is running on long enough. I'm not doing this for ads or anything like that. I'm getting no money right now, so I don't know why I keep running my mouth. Maybe it's just because I like hearing my voice and seeing my face on the viewfinder on the camera. Yeah, that being said, bye.